So it's not so bad being a germophobe. For one thing, you get lots of exercise in your legs when you're trying to avoid germs by kicking open doors and lifting up and down toilet seats with your feet. For another thing, you get pretty smart by thinking out situations in your head. For example, how do I avoid shaking this person's hand? And so on. And then, of course, there's the list of downsides, which is much longer. For one thing, there are certain places you just stop being able to go to, certain things you just can't do anymore once you start to see how germy they can be. Whew. I still can't walk past the water hole in town without holding my breath. It's just... Also, I have a thing with feet. I don't like feet. It's not that big a deal. And I have this thing I call the burp count. Basically, every time somebody burps, I hold my breath and cover my drink and shield my food. Depending on how loud the burp is, it's usually about holding my breath for 10 seconds. But if they don't excuse themselves, it's a full 40 seconds. In defiance. Take that. And there are panic attacks that you do get when you're a germaphobe. Luckily, I've only gotten one serious panic attack. The others were just kind of like, This panic attack happened on a field trip with my class. I was told we were going to see mini figurines of what Saranac Lake looked like a long time ago. And we did, and it was really great, and it was cool. And then our tour guide brought us upstairs, so I figured more figurines. Instead, she was telling us we were in a tuberculosis testing area. And that, if we wanted to take a look, there was a tuberculosis germ underneath the microscope if we were interested. My classmates were of absolutely no help in this situation. One boy was informing me that lots of houses in Saranac Lake were used to cure tuberculosis because of their porches. He said that 10 people died in his bed. 10. Why so many? So finally, she brought us into a separate room, and I was like, thank goodness. Until I learned it was once used as a makeshift sauna for sweaty college boys. Apparently, they were up to their thighs in hot water that they let boil over the tub, and it really started to make me panic after that. I was in a once used as a sauna for college boys room with tuberculosis germs right outside the door and apparently surrounded by death-ridden houses. That was not the best situation. After that, I started deciding on how to sort of plan it out so I could deal with this type of stuff more. I started to try and touch more germy things, and it wasn't working out. But then I heard about this book that was supposed to be really good about a boy who was scared of germs as well. So I got it from the library. I brought it with me over vacation, and I read it. This boy was more far gone. He wouldn't leave his room. He wouldn't open his windows. He wouldn't let anybody near him. Anything that was not to do with cleaning was just useless. And I realized I didn't want to end up like that. So the boy in the book resolved it by talking to his parents and telling them what it had started, and eventually he started getting better. So I told my mom about it, and she told me, what's the worst thing that could happen? I get sick? Like, that's not that big of a deal. Maybe I throw up, which stinks, but it's just for like a minute, right? So I wouldn't say I'm over my fear of germs, but I'm getting there. I still don't like feet. Still can't walk past the water hole without holding my breath. I still do the burp count. But I realized, even if I'm only 10, life's too short to worry about something so tiny.